Welcome back to the Creative Flow podcast. This is our second episode, which we're filming or recording back to back with the first one. So we have two in the bank. My name is James, and I'm joined by Caesar. Say
Hey.
hello. Yeah.
It's me.
It's me, your boy.
Yo, boy.
And today we're going to be talking about how easy it can be to fall into not drawing when you just plan so much that you don't take action. It's I've heard it referred to in many different ways, but it's like shiny object syndrome or something, like where you're seeing a bunch of new stuff that you want to do but you never take action. There's another way that some people have said that, and I'm gonna kick myself because I can't remember. But it's almost like it turns into a form of procrastination because you're just avoiding.
You're building it up.
Yeah.
You're hyping yourself up, and you don't do it at the end.
Right. You can almost freak yourself out and get like scared, so you just like you don't do it out of fear. And at the end of the day, you need to draw. So.
Yeah, I mean, okay, this is gonna back like early YouTube.
Mhm.
Do you know who Mark Curley is, right? By any chance?
No.
Dude, okay, there's this artist on YouTube, and he was probably one of the first artists that was uploading. Like, he actually had a schedule. Like, he uploaded every Friday, and he would upload time lapses on Monday or something.
Mark Crowley?
Mark Curley, that was his name.
How do you spell last name?
Crilley. But yeah, like this dude, he like on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I would watch so many of his videos. Like I was there. I felt like a loyal fan, and I like I thought like just by watching his videos, I'm like, yeah, I know how he did that 3-point perspective in a fish lens view. I know how to do it, and no, because I didn't put the hours to do our practice. But yeah, I fell into this like rabbit hole of just watching his videos and thinking like I know it now because I saw it.
Yeah, no, that is something that people fall into. I feel like where you watch something or watch artists do something so consistently, especially if they're highly skilled professionals. And this is true for any skill, honestly, where the professional makes it look so easy that you feel like you can do it, or that you underestimate how difficult it is to do it. Like, you don't have their experience or their muscle memory, but for whatever reason your brain is like, I can do that too, that's easy. And you can, but you're gonna need a lot of practice in order to get to the same level of ability. I can't. I know that I've definitely watched videos and felt like I could do it too, and then I try it myself and I suck. So it does. Yeah. It is a little discouraging.
Yeah, and it's also like there's another thing that I remember I did a lot, especially in my early like serious years of learning how to draw. It was like, I want to draw anime heads, and so I'd buy a bunch of these beginning art books for anime part 1, and or I'd do like
those art books are so terrible too.
Yeah, are definitely westernized type of thing.
Yeah.
And or go to YouTube, how to draw 3/4 view on a head.
I don't think there's a single, like, I can't think of a single book that was actually good that was like how to draw manga.
Oh,
but it was drawn by like an actual manga artist who wasn't bad. Dude,
do you know Chris Hart? I think that's his name.
Chris Hart, no.
Yeah, dude. Okay, that guy is like, I guess like, I'm not bashing on it, but he definitely put a lot of those books like. So if you like just type in Chris Hart and then like anime stuff, you'll find all of those kind of westernized anime how to draw books.
Oh yeah.
That it's like, oh, here's the information, but you're not like,
oh, these are
I don't know
bad.
how. Yeah. But I mean, definitely.
It's not all bad, but yeah, it's definitely not like the anime that, if you were growing up watching anime, this is not the thing that you were trying to draw.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I bought a bunch of his books, and I thought, oh yeah, I bought 3 of those books, so that instantly makes me a pro. And I just copy the faces, but I'm not like, I wouldn't analyze it or break it down. I'm literally just just draw the circle,
Right,
cut
just
it in
copy.
half, and oh my god, dude, it's bad. Yeah, I remember doing that a lot, and maybe I don't know if anyone did improve with like these art books, but if you did, kudos to you. But I couldn't. It never helped me out. I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they were always kind of popular, and I always hated them. So I just never understood the draw for those books. I mean, I sort of do, because obviously people wanted to draw anime, but they never looked like the anime that I wanted to draw. So I was just like, I'll just copy from the show or whatever. I'm like the manga that I'm reading. Like, I don't need a drawing book,
Right.
Especially when you have the artists themselves telling you in interviews and stuff that, I studied off of the artists for Dragon Ball, Akira Toriyama. I think Oda, the One Piece artist of One Piece, he said he did that, or he was an assistant for somebody, Rurouni Kenshin artist or something. Yeah. But like, they all learned from their previous artists. They didn't, at least I'm assuming they didn't use a how to draw manga book. Like, they just copied stuff and learned for themselves.
Plot twist.
Yeah.
How to draw books actually help mangaka.
Yeah. Oh god, I hope not. They would be like, don't disparage our wonderful books, which they're all Western books, so it's not even.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Yeah.
But you know what's cool though? Like in Japan, they have these cool catalog books of like references for like buildings, and it's just there's no text. Yeah, there's like no text on them. It's just pictures, and they have
a lot of those for people too.
Yes, those are really helpful. Which is funny. How ironic, the books that don't have the
any instruction
text. Yeah, those are really helpful, because like once you kind of like dabbled in breaking down stuff.
It was like the old school way of having a visual library. You just literally had a library for whatever you needed to draw. Like, you needed to see what an office building looked like with a bunch of trees in front. We got you. Here's it in multiple viewpoints and vantages.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, I wish we had those here. I feel like we do, but they're probably just imports from Japan. Yeah,
I mean, that also goes to say that you can have as many art books as you want, but again, you still gotta draw. Like, you can be. I know there's some times where I've been like, I can't learn clothes until I get this book about clothes. I'm just like, no, you can do it. Your brain is just telling you something else that's trying to make you stop and hold back and make you fearful.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, I noticed like some people, like, they have Pinterest. Obviously Pinterest is a really good resource, and they'll have like a big catalog of these are all the clothes I want to draw.
Right.
And it's just sitting there on their PC. It's never. They're not gonna open it. They're just gonna keep collecting. More
I think we're
more.
all guilty of that, probably.
Yeah.
I have a huge folder of reference, and I mean, as long as we still become artists, it still has a purpose. And I just like collecting art too. But no, I definitely have a bunch of stuff that's purely for study, and that folder just grows all the time. And sometimes a lot of it's not used.
It's your comfort folder right there.
Right. And I have pictures too that I've drawn many times, just because they're such good pieces of reference. But like, that's a different problem, where I haven't moved beyond, like, learned it so completely that I was able to move beyond it and delete that piece of reference. So That's a
I have a
totally
question.
separate issue. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, okay. So, what do you think is like probably the best like balance ratio, if there is a ratio for like an artist to like, obviously there is a planning process,
Hmm.
but when is it like, how do you know when to stop planning and just take action? You know what I mean?
Oh
Like,
yeah. I mean, I think it's more about when, let's see, if you are making a plan and a schedule for yourself, that's great. You honestly should 100%. But if you start to plan so much that it holds you back from starting, then it's a problem. Like, you can make an excuse one day, right? But if 2 days go by and you're like, "Nah, I'm still making the perfect plan," like, stop it. Like, go get yourself to start, even if it's, like we said in the last episode, even if it's 1 minute, go sit down and draw something. Like, it's not, at the end of the day, you need to draw. No perfect plan. Well, no plan is perfect, but even if you were to construct some crazy perfect plan, you still have to draw. So you might as well get started sooner rather than later. There are I think some people are worried about trusting the process. Like, what if I learn things wrong, kind of thing, or I develop a style that I hate. And there are very super slim chances of that happening. Like, there may be a possibility that you learn something wrong and you have to adjust. Like, there are teachers that are bad and they teach really weird things. I have had one or two of them in my past, and I'm thankful that I'm smart enough to or at least doubtful enough of everybody to just be like, I need to look this up for myself. So whenever I'm giving something new, like, you do have to trust it a little bit, but also look for a couple other resources and be like, is this information consistent? And then move on. Like, you don't have to look forever so that you don't draw anymore, but just like check it out and then draw for yourself, and then start to think for yourself too. Like, is this the best way to do this? Am I succeeding, or is it holding me back from being able to do what I want to do?
Yeah, I guess like, I think I've heard this too with like comic book artists, or anyone who wants to do like a little webtoon comic. They're like, oh yeah, I got this perfect idea. Or even like YouTube videos to some extent. They're like, yeah, I'm planning the perfect YouTube video, bro. I'm still working on it. And it's like a whole year later, and it's like, bro, you got that YouTube video out yet? And he's like, nah, I still got it. I'm still scripting it. I'm almost done recording it. And it just never comes out. And then when it finally does, it flops, because it's like, dude, you took so long to just bring it out.
Oh yeah. There's that. I don't know if it's a real story or not at this point, but there's that story that they tell you about the people who make pots. Have you heard this story?
You do tell.
A teacher tells a group of students in a class they have to make a perfect pot. That's their assignment for the semester. And then he tells the other half of students, you have to make as many pots as possible. And they ask, like, at the end of the semester, who do you think, or what do you think happens kind of at the end of the semester? And at the end, the people who tried to make the perfect pot are doing exactly what you just said. They're like planning, trying to make everything like perfect. They only end up making like that one pot. They don't try making multiple to like see how they get better at stuff. So their perfect pot is far from perfect. It's really not that great. But the people who have made lots of them have really beautiful pots, because they've figured out how to speed up the process, how to do things they would have otherwise never figured out, because they've had to make so many. So they optimize the process. They figured out how to make them nice, how to really mold the clay the way that they wanted, and so that iteration helped them more than the planning itself.
Oh, that's really good analogy. Like, I'm like mind blown because
You haven't heard that before?
no, I haven't.
Oh,
Maybe it's
okay.
just me. Maybe it's me, bro. Uh, but yeah, like that's definitely something I see with especially in TikTok, right? There's a lot of like kids that use this app, obviously, and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh no, I want to do videos," and I see you do like 10 videos a week. How do you do it? And it's like, hey, I'm gonna be honest. More than half of them, they suck. Like I just do it. Just pump it out.
Mm-hmm.
Not not in a healthy way. Obviously, do what you can.
Yeah.
Don't force yourself to do 20 a day and be like,
Right.
oh, I
That
did
just
it.
leads
Now
to
I'm burnt
burnout.
out.
Yeah.
Yep. Um. Yeah. No.
No, I mean, you have to definitely be careful because there are some, and I encourage, the enthusiasm, but they're usually the most vocal people, like especially on like Twitter or something, are the low performers, and it's the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's where people think they're smarter and more capable than they really are, and everyone can fall victim to this. It's not just people who have low IQ or smart people can fall victim to this too. It's when you start to think that you overestimate your knowledge or your skill, and you can't even recognize that the competence level of others, or you start to think that you are better than these other people who probably have been at it for a lot longer than you.
Wait. So is it like?
Sorry,
I guess
ahead.
I'm a little confused. All right. So is it like pro artists, sort of? No, not the pro artists. More of like the intermediate or the beginner level artists.
Yeah, it's
They
more.
see they see their idols or even their peers, right? And they're like, I could do that better,
Right. Yeah.
right? Is that kind of the idea? In some
Yeah.
way?
There was a survey, although there's a lot of sexism in this too, but there was a survey that said 1 in 8 men believe they could take on Serena Williams in tennis.
I'm dead.
And like
I'm so dead. What the heck, man?
yeah, and it obviously there's some sexism in there too, but it also it's the Dunning-Kruger effect as well, right? They think that they're more capable than they really are because Serena Williams makes that shit look easy.
Yeah,
Easy,
man.
because she's a pro.
Dude, they get wrecked. Like,
Right.
honest.
They wouldn't take a single
No.
point off of her. It would be
No,
ridiculous.
I swear there was this video there was like this little mini trend on TikTok. It's probably a year ago now. And there was this basketball player. I don't know the name off the top of my head. But he was like, I think he was like a bench warmer, or he wasn't like good, right? Considered
Mhm.
good, like LeBron James or anything like that. And so when people on the internet see him play, they're like, dude, I can take him. I can beat him. And those videos got so much traction, bro, that NBA player, he would show up and
Yeah.
play b-ball with these, like, he would come to those call-outs and he would wreck everyone, bro. Like, he'd play a game of 21, he would always win.
Yeah, that's the Dunning-Kruger effect, man.
Yeah, it's so funny because he's like, yeah, you guys might think like you're closer to LeBron James, right? But I'm closer than you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, even though, yeah, it's that whole scene.
Yeah, you see it a lot on like. It's unfortunate because a lot of it's always like, well, not always. I shouldn't say that. A lot of the times it's low performers, right? They can't recognize that they have a lower skill ceiling at the moment, and they don't recognize that the other person is really good. They're just making it look easy. So they become sort of a hothead, and they're very loud. They pretty much claim to know everything. They can't be wrong. A hot tip: if someone seems like they have an answer for everything, they're probably wrong. And they're probably it's the Dunning-Kruger effect. If someone claims to not know everything and that they're always learning, that's probably a good reason to think that person is more intelligent. Like, there's so especially with art, there's so much to art, so much to learn and understand, and so much variety. Like, you can't know everything, and your way is not the only way. Like, there's just so much to it. You can't claim to know everything.
Yes, you can, bro. No, okay.
Yeah. And the same for us. Like, I would never claim to know everything on my channel or anything. I'm always willing to learn and know more. I love learning new stuff, and giving the important bits to you and helping people learn new information.
Yeah, like when I was posting like little mini videos on how to draw like the torso or something, and people would be like, how do you do it? And I'm like, well, that's a complicated answer. I could give you the long one or the short one. And it's like, the short one, I use this method. The long one is...
Yeah, no, I liked your videos. People resonated with those, especially the one you did on YouTube. Like, just quick ones about the, like, shorts that you did about, like, drawing.
Oh, yeah.
Had, like, 40,000 views, because people really resonate with that stuff. They're like, oh, how do I do that? And you did another your longer video about like gestures, did really well. Like, people really want to know that stuff. It seems simple, but if people hopefully can humble themselves for a minute and be like, I don't really understand how this works, or I wonder how he does this different from me. Like, is there another way that I could do this? And that can be difficult sometimes. I think humbling yourself to be like, I don't know everything, and maybe I should try this way just to see if there's something new I can learn. That's exciting to me, honestly.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's like resetting your skills on like like Dark Souls or something.
Yeah. No, it's sort of true. I kind of like that analogy. Do you feel like that there's a lot to learn in art? Like, just with what you want to learn, like figure drawing and...
Oh man, it's so funny. Like, the figure has been drawn so many times, bro. Like, there's so many books, like we mentioned. But like, I don't know why me just trying to figure it myself out on this giant puzzle piece. It's like so fascinating. Like, there's so much to learn. Like, and you can simplify it. That's learning on itself too. Like, simplifying things that make sense to you. But yeah, I think, anyone who draws the figure, they interpret it their own way. So like how I was saying earlier, like, dude, yeah, I could draw it this way. It might not make sense to you at all. But yeah, I think that's what's cool about it. It's like, you draw the figure and nobody else is gonna draw it that way except you. And
yeah,
I don't know.
There's always gonna be like little unique things that you do. You can definitely, for the most part, copy someone else's style. You definitely have to be highly skilled if you want to get away with it looking like completely like the other artists. But to be able to create unique new art consistently in that artist's style is very difficult. So yeah, you definitely can tell. It's not always 100%. You'll always be able to see. It's just like instinctual mark making that people have, right? That you're not going to be able to copy certain things like that. That is pretty much our episode. We did go off topic a little bit, but I think it does relate back to, when you're planning too much and don't take action, just remember you need to draw at the end of the day. So even if it's for 1 minute.
Yeah, another cool little key tip, right?
Yeah. So that is the Creative Flow. Oh my god, I'm gonna screw that up a lot. The Creative Flow podcast. Another episode done. Thank you for tuning in. Have a happy and healthy creative process. Any last words of wisdom, Caesar?
Just get good. Nah, I'm kidding. yeah, just show up for yourself and, make micro improvements. That's about it.
I love it. Nice. Okay,
All right.
everybody. Have a good day. Bye.
All right. Bye.